What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today we are continuing to use this really cool Giratina team built by Baars VGC that Tayo used to get top cut at Hatterene Series this past weekend. So looking at my opponent's first team, it is Zacian Calyrex Shadow. It is Zacian Calyrex Shadow, Regieleki, Tornadus, Incineroar, and Landorus. So Kyogre is really good here once we can get rid of their of their Regieleki, right? That's really the only thing that is scary to Kyogre. Giratina has an okay matchup here. Being able to attack into Calyrex Shadow is going to be really huge. I do like Grimmsnarl though. I think having access to screen support is going to be huge. Kartana is tempting. I think I'm going to do Grimmsnarl Kartana with Kyogre, and then big question of what do I want in the back. Obviously, like I said, Giratina having access to that Shadow Force is going to be really huge. So I think I'm going to bring Giratina. It is the Giratina team, obviously. And it does have a pretty favorable matchup into a lot of things. And obviously, if we can get chipped onto Calyrex Shadow, that puts us in a huge advantageous position. And setting up Light Screen, I think, will really sort of help with that. So we do have to be a little bit weary of Incineroar, but I don't necessarily know if you want Incineroar into this team, right? Given the fact that we do have Kyogre, but we'll see. So we are going to see Calyrex Regieleki. So right off the bat, my opponent really going for hyper offense, right? They're saying, hey, I'm going to most likely go for a Max Darkness into an Astral Barrage. And I think if that's the case, we definitely want to get Light Screen up. We definitely want to Max Kartana. So yeah, I'm going to go immediately for that Light Screen. And then probably I just want to go for... I want to say we go for an Airstream. We're going to go for an Airstream into the Calyrex, just because if we can break through Shadow Shield, not Shadow Shield, if we can break the Focus Sash, we do have Giratina, right, being able to go for that Shadow Sneak, as we are going to see the very obvious Regieleki Max. Like I said, this should be probably a Max Darkness. We could see a Max Airstream, but most probably not. And I think that this really sets us up because we can go for a Thunder Wave the subsequent turn. And if we can get Kartana faster than Zacian, I feel really good about things. So we obviously do have to be a little bit weary, given the fact that, they can go for a Max Airstream, so that's a little tricky. But we are, I think, in a pretty strong position, right? Kartana has a pretty favorable matchup into a good amount of things. We have to get it in the right position. We do need to deal with that Regieleki at some point, so we'll figure out when to do that. As we're going to get the Light Screen up, probably, like I said, a Darkness coming out just to try and get Calyrex a little bit stronger, as we're going to see, in fact, actually just a Max Airstream into the Kartana. Regieleki, it does disappointing damage, to say the least. We could see a Will-O-Wisp come out from this Calyrex, as we are just going to see an Astral Barrage, which is fine. Oh my goodness, Kartana. But we are going to return the favor with our own Max Airstream, doing over half into this Calyrex, which is going to be huge. And I think what we want to do here is we want to go for a T-Wave and an Overgrowth. So I'm fine to go for a Thunder Wave into this Calyrex, as well as go for a Max Overgrowth. That way we can ensure that we hit first, and also we can start recovering back a little HP that we've lost. And I think that that's going to be really huge. We are going to see perfect. We are going to hit the Thunder Wave. So even if my opponent does choose to go for another Max Airstream, we will be able to outspeed the Calyrex, and that is going to be really huge. As we are going to see the second Airstream come out into Kartana. We saw how little it did last time, so that's huge for us, as we will be able to, like I said, fire back with a big Max Airstream onto, not Max Airstream, Max Overgrowth onto this Calyrex, and we know, given the fact that this is now Stab, it's going to do more than enough to get the KO. So Kartana now at +1 attack with +1 speed is going to be huge. We also do have that Grassy Terrain recovery, which can play a big role. And so now I think the big question is what do you bring out, right? Like Zacian. Zacian is a little bit scary. We do need to deal with this Regieleki at some point, though. Right, we have Kyogre in the back, which is really not going to like it. We see it's physical, so that suggests to me it has Assurance, which means that Giratina is not quite in the clear. Obviously, Shadow Force still going to do a lot to it, so we just need to get it into the right position. We also do have Protect on Kyogre, which is going to be huge, right? Like we can try and better deal with the Regieleki. I do expect a Zacian. We're going to see the Incineroar, so Definitely not what I originally expected. I think the play though is right. We're at neutral. I want to set up a reflect for sure, and I'm gonna try and go for an overgrowth into this Regieleki and try and get it in range of Shadow Sneak. And I think that really will sort of help us out. And if it means losing Kartana, I'm honestly fine to lose Kartana. If they go for a protect, like more power to them, right? Yeah, I don't have a counterplay to them protecting Regieleki and going for a Flare Blitz. I think the attack into the Incineroar is pretty like expected, so this I'm hoping will put us in a good position. We're going to see no protect, which is awesome. I'm hoping at neutral with stab and the grassy terrain boost, or no grassy terrain boost with we'll just stab. Okay, perfect. We live that, which is huge. I'm shocked that it shocked. I'm shocked that it did so much, even with both screens up. So, but yeah, I think they definitely made the right play there, right? Just being able to go for that, as we will fire off a big overgrowth, which unfortunately is not going to be enough for a KO. And so now the question is can Giratina do enough? But on a positive note, right, like we can bring out Giratina pretty freely. We have access to that Shadow Force, as well as we can go for a Spirit Break onto this. We can go for a Spirit Break onto the Incineroar, just trying to get a little bit of chip, which I honestly don't think is a super big deal. Like I said, given the fact that we do have access to Kyogre in the back, so it honestly might be worth I think it's worth, in all honesty, just doubling up into the Regieleki, just trying to get rid of it as soon as possible, right? Like Kyogre very easily can clean up this game. We also got rid of the electric terrain, which means that if my opponent, for some reason, is mixed Regieleki with rising voltage, it's going to do less damage. So I'm fine to go for a Spirit Break here, as well as go for a Shadow Force. And what's actually really nice about this situation, right, is if we, get the KO with Spirit Break, that means they're forced to bring in Zacian into an upcoming Shadow Force, and we can go for a Thunder Wave, which can also be really detrimental, right? Being able to slow down that Zacian below the speed of Kyogre means that we can just go for a free Water Spout. So I think we have a lot of options here. And even if you maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to switch out. That really doesn't help you much either, because Giratina just puts on so much pressure, especially Shadow Force, pretty much negating Protect. We could see, okay, so we are going to see a switch out from the Regieleki into the Zacian as expected. So like I said, I do want to try and get a T-Wave onto this Zacian. I think if we can pull that off, we're just in really good position. I also did not expect Grimmsnarl to be faster than Giratina. That's actually really scary. We are luckily still faster than their Incineroar, right? Like, so we are able to set up that Shadow Force before they can fire off a parting shot, which is huge for us. I think, like I said, I do want to try and get a T-Wave onto the Zacian. We still are not out of the woods yet, right? Like, they still have Regieleki. So I'm gonna go for a Thunder Wave here. Just like I said, if we can get the Zacian paralyzed, that gives us free reign to bring out Kyogre, and kind of have some fun. Obviously Regieleki's still a little bit scary, but I think we're in a pretty good position, especially given the fact that we still have both of our screens and Grimmsnarl fairly healthy. If you choose to attack into Grimmsnarl, right, you most likely are going to get Thunder Waved, and I'm okay with that. So we are going to see the Incin withdraw, and that's going to go out into Regieleki, so that's definitely less than ideal, but it's also not the end of the world. We are going to see the Zacian stay in, so that's actually also really huge, right? Like, you are just accepting the paralysis as Shadow Force going to come out. I'm hoping for a lot of damage onto the Zacian. I'll take that. We're going to see the play rough, which I was not expecting, come out into the Giratina. So Giratina, unfortunately, going to get pretty low here. I do think the main target, though, is going to be this Regieleki, right? Like, I just, if I can get rid of it, having Kyogre versus an Incin and a Zacian is fine. So going for the double up here, as well as going for the Shadow Sneak, and just saying, hey, you could switch out into Incin, right? Like, that's a totally fine play of saying, I'm gonna switch out Giratina into Incin, and then preserve the Aleki. But I really hope my opponent doesn't try and preserve the Aleki. I guess we are playing a little bit risky, saying, hey, you can go for another play rough into Giratina. But we're going to see the Aleki protect, so that they correctly identify the threat, right? And so this is really awkward, but it does mean that they not only have to not be paralyzed, they also have to hit the play rough. So feeling okay about that, as I think, yeah, they go for the safe route here of just going straight for Behemoth Blade into, they go into the Grimsnarl. So that that is actually pretty fine. Right, we are going to get a little bit of recovery back. I honestly think because we have screens up, we can survive a hit from, I mean, do we think we can survive a hit from Regieleki? Probably not. How many turns of screens do we have left? We have 4 turns of Reflect left, so that's huge. I'm gonna go for it. I think I have to go for it, in all honesty. This is stab, so I'm hoping that the stab and Giratina, like Giratina has no attack drops, and I'm really hoping that that sort of pays dividends. We could see a swap into Incineroar, calling the protect on Kyogre, right? Like everything really suggests that I should be protecting Kyogre this turn, right? Like saying, hey, I'm gonna go for a Shadow Sneak and a protect, and then a Shadow Sneak the subsequent turn. So we could, like I said, very easily see a switch into Incineroar. We are not going to see that. I think my opponent correctly choosing to stay in. Shadow Sneak, perfect, is enough for the KO here. So we will be able, okay, perfect. And we do connect the Origin Pulse onto the Zacian. So that definitely is going to be enough for a knockout. That's perfect. And then at this point, right, we can protect the Kyogre to stop the, we don't even need to protect the Kyogre, right? Like, sure, you get off a fake out, but like, what is that really going to get you in the long run? So fine enough just to stick it out and like go for the Water Spout. Like, yeah, we don't care. We can go for a Giratina going for a Shadow Force, just trying to get it up. So Giratina really pulling its weight here, right? Like if we had let that Regieleki kind of do its thing, we would have been in just a much worse position. And so we can go for dual Wing Beat. I don't think I've seen this animation in like a very long time. So I'm hoping my opponent, I mean, I was going to say the Kyogre is going to go first. So Water Spout, single target in the rain at full HP, shockingly is going to KO an Incineroar. So unfortunately, no dual Wing Beat animation. But overall, just a really solid first game. I think Giratina was really able to put on a lot of pressure and use its partners to its advantage. So awesome first game, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is interesting. It is Lunadon. It is Groudon Lunala with Clefairy, Slowbro, a Charizard, and a Thundurus. What kind of Regieleki are we? Sorry, I've been playing so many teams lately, I just like forget what everything is. So this is pretty standard Regieleki. I honestly like Regieleki lead. Regieleki with what? I want Kyogre in the back. Kartana, just like because of Thundurus and Charizard, I don't really like. I could do let's do Regieleki Grim with Ogre Giratina. I could have. My issue is that this Giratina is really slow. Otherwise, I would have felt really confident going for something like an Electroweb into a Max Phantasm, but I don't know if Thundurus will still outspeed. So I didn't want to really risk losing that and like have being punished for it. As we are going to see Clefairy Lunala. So this is fine with me. We have the ability, right, to break Shadow Shield with an Electroweb, so being able to immediately pressure with that, and also setting up a light screen is huge, right? Like we can really just kind of neuter what this Lunala can do. And what we really want to set up is a position, right, where we can also bring out Kyogre pretty freely. That did a lot of damage into the Clefairy, which is awesome to see. as we did see no follow me. So we're going to see a hypnosis come out. So this is fun. I'm guessing you're going to go for Sing into Grimmsnarl. We're going to see Gravity. So this means we're just, you know, we're having a good time. But you're not putting on any pressure. So I'm going to click Thunderbolt into, actually, I want to get rid of the Clefairy. So I'm going to click Thunderbolt here. I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave into the Lunala. We probably are going to see that get redirected right into the Clefairy. We're going to see the Clefairy actually withdraw. So that's probably Groudon is what I'm expecting. Yep, we are going to see the Groudon come in here. So Groudon is fine with me, right? Because of the fact that, you are bringing that in before I bring up Kyogre. So Kyogre, right, has the ability to come out and start firing off Water Spout. We are going to probably see, if a Trick Room is scary, we're going to see Hypnosis come out into the Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl, like I said, it's fine. This is so passive. I'm fine to lose both of these in all honesty. We're going to go for a Thunderbolt into you, and we're just going to click Reflect. Nope, we're not going to click Max Guard. We're going to click Reflect here. We're not going to get it, but that's fine with me. I think it's funny that I didn't bring an Incin versus a Lunadon. You can make fun of me for that in the comment section below. As Precipice Blades is going to come out. Shockingly, it is going to hit, taking advantage of that extra accuracy from Gravity. But yeah, like I said, this, as long as we don't see the Trick Room, we're going to see a Moonlight come out. So that's scary because it means that Lunala is going to re-preserve that Shadow Shield. So we do need to actually try and hit it. I do want to go for a Thunderbolt here, as well as go for a Spirit Break onto it as well. Just because, like I said, I need to make sure that the Shadow Shield is broken when I can bring up Kyogre, because then I can just click Max Geyser and it's great and everyone's happy. We also have Giratina, right? Okay, so this is fine, right? You get a double knockout. That means we bring out Kyogre and Giratina. Giratina can go for a Shadow Sneak, as we're just going to see the swap out into the Thundurus. So this is my opponent's last one. Regieleki is going to wake up. So the Thunderbolt going to come out here, and this is actually a problem because of the fact that Thundurus is going to be faster than both of my Pokemon. And we don't really like that much. Nope. Nope. Stop that. Kyogre and nope. Giratina. We can. Groudon is probably going to switch out. That is my thought process here. Thundurus is what I care about most. It also should not have that good of a way of dealing with Giratina. We do have to be a little bit weary of the potential for support Thundurus. I'm going to go for a Protect here. I think that's just pretty much mandatory. And let's Max Phantasm this Thundurus. Yes, I mean, the defense drop actually does help a fair bit because Giratina is physical. So I think if we can get rid of the Thundurus, Kyogre should be in a pretty good position to start putting on pressure. And even if Kyogre isn't the one putting on pressure, right, like Giratina still is, because we can one-shot the Lunala, which is huge. Clefairy also is pretty low, and so being able to get more damage onto that is going to be huge. Also because of the paralysis on the Lunala, right, like we are faster, so we have that ability to put on immediate pressure. We are going to see the Groudon withdraw. That makes the most sense. I just, like I said, want to get rid of this Thundurus. Because I think, okay, yeah, we're going to see the Thundurus Max, so that's a little bit scary. I'm hoping for a Max Lightning, in all honesty. This is where someone reminds me of the fact that Giratina has Levitate, and so even if they go for a Max Lightning, it doesn't matter. Oh, Gravity is weird. Gravity is very weird. So this is huge, right? Like, if we can get the Giratina to... because now we're going to drop the Lunala's defense, right? And I feel like Stab super effect ×4 super effective Max Phantasm when the Lunala is at -1 should be enough for a knockout. Don't quote me on that, but I would love to do that even through Shadow Shield, as we are going to see Kyogre going to go for Protect here. Probably an Air maybe. Okay, yeah, we're going to see the straight Lightning into the Ogre. That makes the most sense, right? So the big question now is, do we get the one shot onto Thunderous with Phantasm? We basically need it. So Moment of Truth, Phantasm going to come out here onto the Thunderous. Please KO it. Yes. Okay, perfect. That's huge. Giratina, absolutely a monster right now, right? Just getting rid of that big threat. This also means that the Groudon is unable to max, right? And so that is great. Gravity is going to return to normal, so there are some caveats with that. Obviously, right? It means that Lunala can Hypnosis onto my Giratina, which we don't want. We could see Clefairy I think is fine. I expect Groudon, as we are going to see. Yeah, we are going to see the Groudon. The Groudon makes the most sense. I'm going to Ice Beam the Groudon because I'm not really worried about it from... I mean, I'm kind of worried about it. I want a Phantasm. Actually, I'm going to Origin Pulse. How much HP does Kyogre have? We're right at the cusp. I'm fine to go for a Water Spout as well as go for a Phantasm onto the Lunala. Because what this will mean, right, is we'll break the Shadow Shield, which is going to not do that much anyway. And then we can get the big Phantasm off. If we can get Groudon to -1 defense, right, we can fire our last attack into it. I forget if Clefairy is normal fairy or if it's just pure fairy, which is something I should know. But it's going to be very, very relevant to this game, as we're going to see the withdraw of the Groudon, which is totally fine with me. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're trying to give the Friend Guard boost onto this Lunala, as the Water Spout going to come out here, right? The objective just purely is to break Shadow Shield, doing the most amount of damage I've ever seen. But let's see if Shadow Shield is enough. It's not. I mean, not Shadow Shield. Friend Guard is unfortunately not enough. We also still, more importantly, have 1 turn of max left, which means that we do have the ability to lower this Groudon's defense, which is going to be huge, right? We can fire off a big Shadow Shield and just, I mean, not a big Shadow Shield, a big Shadow Force the subsequent turn, and I can't really see Groudon doing too much to me at all. So yeah, we can click Water Spout again, as well as go for a Phantasm. Perfect. Clefairy is just regular fairy. I didn't know if it was normal fairy. So we are going to see the Protect come out from the Clefairy, which is fine with me, right? I don't really care. Precipice Blades, important to note that Kyogre is slower. That's actually a really big deal. Kyogre luckily is going to survive. The Water Spout going to do pretty much nothing into Groudon, right? Going to do, yeah, a big... you know what? Okay, you know what? That did more than I expected. For a Friend Guard in the sun, that did a lot too. We're going to get the defense drop on Groudon. I think what I want to do here is... Oh, White Herb. I thought that was a weakness policy. And I was so confused. I was like, excuse me. I think what we want to do is we want to protect the Kyogre, and we want to go for a Shadow Force onto this Groudon. So the White Herb is good to see. I wish I could have triggered it earlier. We are probably going to have to take a hit. We are going to see the Follow Me, so that means that we might be Shadow Forcing into the Clefairy, as we're going to see the Stone Edge come out. I think that was a smart recognition. Giratina going to take that super well. Like, while it still has that very good offensive output, it also just has like a ton of damage. As we're going to see the light screen wear off, I'm going to fire an Ice Beam into this Groudon. We could see a Precipice Blades miss, so a lot of options there, but we should be more than enough to knock out Clefairy, and then we do have to worry a little bit about crits. Giratina going to avoid. Kyogre, unfortunately not. So yeah, we're going to lose Kyogre here. We should be able to KO the Clefairy, right? And then we just need to survive a potential crit Stone Edge in order to get the boost to... Oh, wait. That's cool. I did not know that worked that way. We're going to see the Sing come out into the Giratina. So this is a little bit tricky now. Okay, we have like 200 HP left. I don't think that Clefairy can save you at this point, but that's a really cool way to know how that interaction works. We're gonna, I mean, what attack? Yeah, I think that they recognize that they're Clefairy does not have, I'm assuming their Clefairy just didn't have any attacks, right? Like that would make sense as to why they just canceled, which is also possible. Do we get to see their team? So no, but I mean, this team absolutely crushing it, and just like another phenomenal battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is Zacian Kyogre. It is Rillaboom, Zacian, Zapdos, Incineroar, Kyogre, and Amoonguss. So a pretty standard comp, just opting for Amoonguss over Grimmsnarl. But more importantly, that means you don't have your own Grimmsnarl. I like Grimmsnarl. I like Kartana a lot. I think Kartana offers just a ton of pressure into my opponent's team. Kyogre, and then probably Giratina. Regieleki is tempting, but I think that this is fine. We do have to be a little bit weary of a flare from the Zapdos, but I think we can still work around that with Kartana. We do obviously have to be a little bit weary of an Incin lead, right? Like Incin Zapdos is something that is really scary, offering pressure pretty much regardless of what I lead. As we are going to see coming out here, a Zapdos Zacian. Zapdos Zacian I can work with, right? Kartana being able to max is huge. This is the question of what do I care more about? In all honesty, I'm fine just to Thunder Wave the Zacian. It's probably not worth maxing, right? I'm probably just going to lose Kartana. I'm probably just going to lose both. So I'd much rather do this and then just go for the Smart Strike onto Zacian, just trying to get some chip. We're probably going to have to use Giratina a lot here. As yeah, we're going to see the Zapdos. It is going to max. It's just, yeah, it's not worth maxing Kartana in this position. If we see a protect from Zacian, that's helpful, right? Like we should be comfortable to survive anything with that Zapdos wants to throw out at us. We're gonna see perfect. We're gonna get the Thunder Wave off onto the Zacian. If we're able to paralyze it, that would be really nice, right? It means that we have an extra turn to set up a screen. As just, yeah, trying to get some damage on with Smart Strike. That's actually a solid amount of chip, as we're going to see the Airstream probably into the Kartana, into the Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl going to live, so that's huge, and this probably suggests to me that you are Life Orb Zapdos, which we should see a Life Orb. Yeah, we're going to see the Life Orb. That's good to know. And we're going to see a substitute from the Zacian come out. So that's even better information to know, right? Like, this Zacian is so low at this point. I'm fine to, I want to set up a light screen just because I am a little bit worried about what that Zapdos can do, as we can now just go for a Smart Strike onto this Zacian. We should have maxed, in all honesty. That would have been really nice to try and do some stuff. We're going to see the Flare come out into the Kartana. That makes a lot of sense. And you're probably going to go for a Behemoth Blade. What's it called? A Behemoth Blade onto my... Behemoth Blade onto my Grimmsnarl. And so now I need to learn how an interaction works. And that interaction is, does Shadow Force go through Substitute? I want to say it does because I want it to. Right, and so what we can do is the Zacian... Okay, so the Zacian is only at +1. I want to... Yeah, I need to know if this goes through Substitute. This move hits even if the target protects itself. So I don't know. I don't know if it does what I want it to do. So we're going to use the power of the internet and Google it. As my phone is really... This is not the time for my phone to be slow. Come on. Shadow Force. Substitute. Nope, not Phantom Force. I want Shadow Force. Shadow Force. Substitute. Okay, oh, this is Giratina's on the left. So we're going to Shadow Force into the Zacian, and we are going to max guard with Kyogre, this is the last turn for that Zapdos, right? I just want to reduce the damage that it can do. I just need to know if it hits through Substitute. Not affected by... Okay, so it's not affected by Protect. So that tells me it's not listing Substitute, which means that I probably cannot hit through Substitute. I do want to max guard, though, just to try and waste the last turn. We're going to see the Airstream into the Giratina. So my opponent correctly identifying what was going to be protected. And so I'm hoping that they did not just double up into Giratina. That would be really sad. We're going to see the Zacian. It looks like they did. We're going to see the Behemoth Blade going to come out here. So I think my opponent just outplayed me here. The Zacian is paralyzed. So we still have a chance here. No, we don't, because we... what's it called? We don't have Thunderbolt on our Kyogre. So probably, unfortunately, in the last game, we are going to take an L. The Zacian, though, is paralyzed, so there is a chance that we can make it so it doesn't do anything. I do potentially expect to see a Rillaboom in the back as Thunderbolt going to do a fair bit, actually, not going to lie. I was shocked it did that much through a light screen. We are going to see the Zacian. It is not getting paralyzed, as it's supposed to. I would really appreciate a couple paralysis here and there, as it is going to go into Kyogre. Yeah, and at this point, whatever you have in the back should be more than enough to KO. So definitely a little bit of an unfortunate way to end with this team. I know that we've had just some really great success with it. It was almost the first team in a very long time that I've gone completely undefeated with. And it is unfortunate that between practice and actually recording, the only loss that I have happens to be on screen. So we are going to see the I mean, okay, so let's think about it, right? Incineroar, they probably have Kyogre in the back, which makes sense, right? You're trying to make it so your last turn of max, yeah, that makes sense, right? You're saying, hey, my last turn of max is going to go away, getting rid of this Incineroar. We are going to see the Zacian get paralyzed, so we're in a good spot here. But yeah, because you can bring out your Kyogre at this point. Go for a Water Spout, which should, at this range... Oh, and it's Focus Sash Instant. So it doesn't even matter, right? We are going to see the Parting Shot come out. So, yeah, an unfortunate way to end. I will run after this turn. It just doesn't make sense to keep playing it out. It is a very cool team, I think. Very well built. I'm glad that I got the chance to show off such a unique Pokemon, right? It's not every day that you get to see Giratina. I wish I could have... Yeah, I wish... This last battle could have ended differently, but overall, just such an amazing team. Huge shout out to Baars for the team. It just absolutely crushed it. We will be using some fun stuff. I'm hoping to drop some rental teams, so look forward to that. And yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.